this is getting better and better. It just got better and better. I mean, it evolved. It didn't start out with 4 guys getting there just jamming and playing this stuff, because Bruce would write these songs on a daily basis. I mean, he's always sitting around an acoustic writing lyrics, trying to make things fit. And then when he finally got it the way he thought it would work, he'd get them all together in a pile. They'd make the music, and they'd play with it until they got it.
With an enhanced PA system created by Tinker, the band went on the road with the intention of rapidly gaining an audience. The plan was very quickly realised.
We played one gig once we had some songs together. We played a gig in Long Branch in this park, and a whole bunch of bands in it. And we were like not the last band to go on, but we were like the next to last band to go on. And we caused a scene. And then the next gig we did was at Monmouth College on the back stairs. And all the people, it was a lot of people, 300-400 people down at the bottom of the stairs in the back of Monmouth College. And when we started putting up our equipment, they all got up and came towards, they wanted to get right around where we were. And we got scared. We all ran inside Monmouth College, saying, what the hell's going on here? We thought they were going to attack us like we saw in them Beatle movies. We really did. We thought that. Then we came out and set up and played. And that's another whole story, that gig.
There was a feeling there that something was going on, and it felt right. There's no two ways about it. It felt right. And the sound, the music, I thought was excellent. I thought it was great, basic, rock and roll. It was not a lot of fancy effects, not a little BS. It was rock and roll, and that's what really works, and it still works today.
Tinker took a bunch of guys who were blue-collar kids, brawlers, rough people, factory workers, and put them on stage and made them sound good. He had a great sound system. He was from California, and he used to always say to me, we got to do like the Grateful Dead does. Put on a great show, get people dancing, make a good vibe, is what he always said. We got to have good vibes like the Grateful Dead. So he always pushed that, and have a large gathering and a big sound system, and just make it open for everybody to party, like a mini festival, that Woodstock kind of gathering on a smaller scale. And he always pushed that. So yeah, Tinker was great like that. He didn't like the little club things. He never wanted the steel mill band to play in any small dives or anything like that. It was the big stuff or nothing.
We just wanted to make music, and Tinker helped us make music, and because of Tinker we went to Richmond, and we went to Chapel Hill, we went to California, and Tennessee, Nashville, and colleges. We played in colleges, played at Monmouth College, had a good following around here. People, for some reason or another, once we all got together, coming from all these areas, people just started coming to see us. They flocked to see us. It was amazing.
The band's reputation was growing. Springsteen in particular was emerging as a natural and popular frontman. And as Steel Mill travelled, it became clear that he was destined for far more than just an East Coast reputation.
They were indigenous to this area, but Bruce had a special quality when he would perform that was one step above your normal guy. He would walk in a room, and for some reason you would just know he was in the room. He's one of those kind of people, and when he performed, he would become completely almost out of his own character, and the guy would dig deep, and he would come up with these songs that, at the time, I was in awe. I said, I want to be good enough to play with a band like that.
When I first met him at the Upstage, I wasn't thinking about superstardom or all that stuff. I just wanted to see what would happen when they put it together. But once we started playing live, this is from my schooling in the San Francisco, California thing. I always, like I said, I've said 5 times, I look at an audience. Because your personal opinion, I've learned this a long time ago, my personal opinion, when it comes to music means nothing because everybody's different. But when you can get a bunch of them, it would become a feedback thing. It would feedback, and the more it fed back, the more he gets into it. And that's what a live performer is.
Everybody would, talk about it afterwards, and we all agreed that if anybody from Asbury Park was going to make it, it was going to be Bruce. He was pretty obvious the choice. He had the right talent.
In 1970, Steel Mill supported high-profile acts, from rising British rock stars Black Sabbath to late 60s icons Ike and Tina Turner. Towards the end of the year, Springsteen surprised many by recruiting a new vocalist, Robin Thompson, from Virginia band Mercy Flight.
We did a show here in Richmond on the 7th floor, the very top floor of a parking deck. And we did this concert. It was Mercy Flight, Steel Mill, and another band from Northern Virginia, as I recall. I can't remember the name. But it was after that, if my memory serves me well, it was after that concert that Bruce just off the cuff mentioned, he said, hey, I'm thinking about another singer in the band. Why don't you come up and try out for it? And it very much took me back. I couldn't figure out why he needed anybody else, But I went up to Jersey and stayed up there for, I don't know, a week, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days, and rehearsed with them. And then they all went into a room, and left me outside, and I guess they huddled and decided that they wanted me in the band and came out and said, okay, we think this will work. So I quit school and moved to New Jersey.
Now, I was a fan of him when he had Mercy Flight. When I saw their band, they had a great, I said it was the best band in Richmond. There was no band that was close to Mercy Flight. They were the best guys to go on down there. And when he went in with Bruce, it added something to the band, and everybody was happy. I had no pros or cons about that, because my feeling is if you manage a group of people, if they're happy, then the end product is always better. If people are, they're at odds with each other, then nothing's going to work. And so the best thing to do is just do your thing. And they were all happy. Everybody liked the sound. I had nothing to say with it. I just felt it was fine. It suited me fine. It was another mic on stage, and they sang well together. Bruce and Robin sang very well together.
I think he wanted to play more guitar. And I also think that he just wanted another person to help with the backup singing. I mean, there was maybe a need for that also. So it wasn't like I was the lead singer front guy all the time, because I wasn't. A lot of times I was playing tambourine, and I think they probably thought that they could teach me how to play some bass at one, for a few songs, because Stephen was actually a guitar player and playing bass. And I'm sure he wanted to play guitar a little more, which would actually make the band sound a little bigger too, if there was a bass player with two lead guitar players in the band. And I think that maybe that was in the back of his mind too, that I could, jump on the bass occasionally and play.
Thompson began touring with the band and was immediately aware of Springsteen's potential.
Great guitar player, great charismatic person on stage, had a way about him that, something was going to happen with the band, or at least with him. And, when you're a player too, you kind of see that kind of stuff. You notice that right off, that it's a natural thing for him to be doing what he's doing, and it came off exactly like that. There was kind of a little love triangle, between a girl, my girlfriend, and Bruce, and me, and so that was a strange thing, and it got in the way a couple of times, but that's about as far as I'll talk about it.